We have head coach Casey Jones, captain Nick Pirag, and Sheldon Rempel. Again, we'll just do questions for the student athletes only this time. Just raise your hand. Please introduce yourself and your affiliation prior to asking your question. And then we'll cut the student athletes loose, and then we'll field some questions for Casey. Questions out there? Cap Carey.
Cap Carey, Watertown Daily Times. I was going to ask one to each of you. First with you, Sheldon. What did you kind of see on the game-winning goal, and what was going through your mind as you were skating down the ice after it?
Yeah, it was kind of a bit of a blur there at the end. We were going pretty crazy, but I think it was a bit of a broken play. Neeks got it, made a good play up the wall, that was Dev actually, and I made a nice play through the triangle there, and was lucky enough to beat my defender and kind of just put it into an open net.
And your reaction to it, just wondering what you thought, what was going through your head as you were skating down the ice after that?
Yeah, just pure joy. I think that was probably one of the funnest games. A lot of these guys have played, including myself by far. So just to get that win and have a chance to compete for a championship tomorrow with my brothers means a lot for this school.
And for you, Nick, I was going to say about the goal you scored and just what was going through your team's mind when you had that big 3-goal spurt there too.
Yeah, it was nice. Kind of just got in front and the puck kind of just went off me. But I think it talks about the character of the team, the way we answered to. I get at the start of that third period, we got an unlucky bounce, and kind of just moving forward from that, banked that, move on, and tied it up. And obviously Sheldon won it in overtime. And that's kind of speaks volumes for our team.
Thanks, guys. Other questions? Josh?
Josh Seaman, College Hockey News. Nick, what was the mood on the bench after that? They scored to make it 4-1 there. Was it kind of worry, or what was the mood there?
No, I don't think there was 1 ounce of worry in our entire game. There's in between each period, we were banking it, moving on. That was kind of our mentality coming into this tournament and carrying through tomorrow.
Thanks. Other questions? Go ahead.
Yeah. How big was it to get that goal just 9 seconds later? Obviously, that really was what turned the momentum and got the crowd going, huh?
Yeah, it's good. It's good when you can carry the momentum, and kind of that's what we're trying to build off of. We know when they have it, and kind of just getting them back as soon as we can definitely helped us.
Thanks. Right in the back.
Charlie Novak from ICTV. So after Harvard goes up 3-0, what was the mood like on the bench?
Obviously it's tough, especially, coming out of the third period, we were getting pretty fired up. We scored the last goal in the second period, and then kind of that bad bounce to start the third period. But, I could say the same thing with the third goal. I think just kind of a fluky play. So just kind of, we dealt with it in a really good way, and, we bounced back after all those, unlucky goals. So, that speaks volume from our team.
Go ahead, Brendan. A couple in the back.
Justin Rouzier, ICTV. What went on in your head once you tied it up? You're going from all the way down to a tie game where it's essentially 0-0. Was it a collaborative team thing, or was it anything specific?
I think it was just a team thing. It's a big accomplishment for us to tie that game up, and the momentum was through the roof with the fans, and we just tried to carry that through into overtime and came out on top.
Tessa Moore, ICTV. How are you feeling right now?
Obviously pretty good. That was, like I said, that was probably, the top game in my books through all my years of hockey. But that's the tough thing about sports is, when you have a back-to-back, you can't really enjoy it too much. Obviously, we're going to enjoy it and, talk to our families about it and kind of relive it a little bit. But, at the end of the night, we got to go to bed and we got to win a championship tomorrow.
And a
Go ahead.
follow-up question to that. Playing an overtime game tonight, how does that affect going into tomorrow's championship game?
I think we have a good strength coach and athletic trainer. They're going to definitely help us with that in our recovery. Kind of just like Sheldon said, we're going to talk to our families, and then we're going to get down to business, kind of recovering, getting the proper food in our body, getting the proper sleep, and getting back at it tomorrow.
Go ahead, Nick.
For Nick, NATO, and USAH. So you mentioned the fans, but what was it like as you guys came back and tied the game and the building just starts going nuts? How much of a lift was that for you guys?
Yeah, it's obviously a mental lift. You see a lot of green and gold kind of throughout the whole season. The band's there. It's unbelievable playing for Clarkson. The support that we have is through the roof, and that's definitely helped us throughout the season, definitely tonight.
Yeah, two weeks in a row, you kind of had your backs against the wall. Last week, you lost the first game. What does it say about the character of you guys? Because it just seems like you guys haven't stopped the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, never give up. That's kind of our mentality. Kind of keep pushing forward. Bank the negatives and the positive. Kind of just moving forward. Kind of just taking it shift by shift and trying to win our shift. And that's kind of trickled through and led us to where we are right now.
Anything else for the student athletes before we cut them loose?
Sheldon, right here. Thank you, buddy.
Is that it? All right, guys. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good luck tomorrow. Good job, guys. Thanks. All right, before we field some questions, we'll start out with Coach, if you want to just make a few comments on tonight's exciting game.
Yeah, well, they asked a question earlier about how you felt when you were down 3-0. At that point in time, we felt pretty good about ourselves because we were playing well. It was we couldn't believe it was 3-0, to be honest with you. We had scoring chances, and they had a couple bounces, and I thought, we talk all the time about momentum management. It's you spend time using terms and all that, and we had to make sure that we kind of recaptured the momentum for ourselves, and that was a big goal to kind of get us back into it, get feeling it, and then obviously out the third period, I thought we were outside of the bounce there. I thought our response to their first break was absolutely through the roof. We made sure our guys moved on immediately from that. Are we going to feel sorry for ourselves? Or are we going to get after it? Obviously, the right line went on the ice, and they got it done. I thought that was a change in guard, and obviously, I thought our fans we carried momentum from the crowd.
Thanks, Coach. Now we'll field some questions. Start with Cap.
Cap Carey, Clarkson Times. I was just going to ask you, first of all, just about tomorrow night's matchup. What do you kind of expect from Princeton? What kind of game do you think you'll get?
We played them recently. It wasn't that long ago we played them. So I think we know where they're at. I think they've got a dynamic offensive team. They got a line that can bring it, and they got a second line that can bring it. They've got those two lines that are dynamic. Their power play is dynamic. Expectations are, we'll play a disciplined game tomorrow night. We've been a disciplined team all year long, and see if they can win the game 5-on-5. That'll be our goal tomorrow night. But I also feel strongly about I like what I saw in the two games against them. We gave up 3 points against them, which was disappointing. But that's a good team. We played them I thought their second half of the year has been really, really good. And timing's everything in hockey, right? When you play a team, so it's a situation right now that it's tough. We talked to our guys. It's tough to end team seasons. It's that step, but we had to learn that step as a team, and I thought it was another good step for us tonight.
Follow up, Cap.
Yeah, it's not really tomorrow. I was just wondering, I believe winning tonight kind of solidified you guys in the NCAA tournament too. I was going to ask you what's it feel like just to kind of have that as something you don't have to worry about this weekend.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. We our guys. It's hard not to read it, hard not to look at stuff. But we came here chasing the championship as a group, right? We put a lot of effort in. I like my staff. Like you heard Nick talk about Tad Johnson, our strength coach. Like, I don't think the overtime is going to affect us being ready for tomorrow. I think we're a really well-conditioned team. We work hard. Our guys take care of themselves. So from that perspective, I'm excited. Plus, the motivation of a championship game will be enough to have the legs and whereabouts that you need. But obviously, I think for us, I'm hoping a few more green and gold people pack up and get up here for tomorrow. And it'll be a sea of green and gold for us. We're looking forward to the opportunity to play in front of our fans.
Thanks, Coach. Other questions? Justin?
Coach, you talked physically. You talked about how you can prepare from a game, but how about emotionally? What do you say to your team to bring them back from such an emotional win in overtime to kind of reset and play it tomorrow?
We just talked about after the game. I said, hey, let's enjoy it here a little bit, but we'll regret if we don't come down off this cloud and just refocus on tomorrow. We can reflect on this later. The time for reflection is not now for this game. It's about, hey, let's enjoy each other. Great comeback. And then Tattle's doing a good job downstairs. We'll go through our normal routine here. The biggest problem is we got to talk to our guys about when they see their families and how much time they spend there. They just got to hug mom, give Dad a hug you want, let's move on, let's get our food in us, and tell him we'll see him tomorrow or see him on Sunday, one of the two. So it's just the way it goes.
You hope your voice back is going to be for tomorrow?
Pardon me?
I said, you hope your voice is going to be back, I hope?
Yeah, no, it's not that bad. I just get, I talk less after every game. It's not for me. I thought the referee was fantastic. I didn't say one thing to them. It was more just I'm tired of getting old.
Yep, go ahead.
Casey, Teddy Donato's guys are a very experienced bunch after being in a championship game last year, and a bunch of them play, and a bunch of players are coming back. Did you guys speak with the team about the experience that Harvard has dating back to last year?
Nope. Didn't talk about them besides what we're going to do in our preparation to beat them. We spent some time on that. And like I said, it was, I thought early on, we made one little miss rotation on the first power play goal by them. We wanted to be aggressive out top on our two top players, 16 and 18, and they kind of went underneath us. We just didn't rotate quick enough back, and they get a power play goal. And it's just one of those things. We thought the game plan, what we were trying to accomplish, down low offense, and that was working. I just thought we persevered tonight. Tonight was about perseverance and staying the course and sticking with the game plan. And I thought that tells you a lot about our team. And hey, we want to move on. Like we thought our body of work was really weird, that it put us in a situation that we might not be going to the NCAA tournament. But we had a little bit of hiccups the second half and finishing teams. But I thought teams in our league were playing really well the second half. They didn't start the year very well, so it hurt us with our body of work from the teams in our league not having great non-conference schedules early. But I thought a lot of teams were playing fantastic hockey as the year went on. It's just the way it is. So to get that out of the way is good for tomorrow. But I know one thing. We came here with one thing in mind, and that was get a chance to forge memory with a group of guys that you work really hard with all the time. We're looking forward to that opportunity tomorrow.
Thanks, Coach. We got a few more questions up front.
NATO and USCHO, you mentioned playing well but being down 3-0. Is that almost like a snapshot of last month? You guys are playing well in stretches but weren't getting the wins?
Yeah, I thought our resolve was better tonight in some of those games. I thought some of those games we didn't respond to maybe a bad bounce or like we did tonight, and hey, when the end of the line's in sight, you have a little bit different resolve. During that time I thought we were playing well, and if something kind of went wrong, sometimes we'd feel bad for ourselves in stretches there, and we've been talking about that mentally growing up and being better in those situations, and I thought they did a fantastic job tonight.
One last question here by Adam.
Hey, Coach, the Harvard came out flying in that overtime, obviously. It was a good job by them recovering. And did you feel you guys were taken aback a little bit by that, or not expecting you called the timeout? So I don't know what you talked to them about during that.
Well, I just talked about they were being the aggressor, right? Like we looked like we wanted to win, but didn't want to make a mistake. And I thought they were going after it, and that was just all we talked about. It's just like, hey, look at we're gonna lose this. Let's lose this aggressive. Like, come on, let's make an aggressive mistake that we can live with. But we're on our heels. You know what? Jake made on a wraparound, big time save there. Got a little break with a post. But they had a few of those breaks during the course of the game with the pipes that we hit. I just thought that we just wanted to settle it down. I thought the reason why we're in trouble in overtime, I think they might have won 6 or 7 consecutive faceoffs in a row, that they had puck possession. It's the name of the game, right? We want the puck, and they're winning faceoffs, and they got the puck. So, we just refocused. We got fresh guys on the ice, and our big boys made a play. That was a good zone entrance play by Brassota to Sturm, and a great vision for him to find Rempel. But usually times like that, you ask your big boys to step up, and that's our big line.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Thanks, John.